You're listening to the first episode of Unseen, Queer Millennial Life Unfiltered. So I think we should tell you who we are and why we're here. My name is Laura Lee Abbey. I have been writing for most of my adult life. I've been oversharing my experiences as a woman, as a queer woman, as a mom. I think that we have reached an age where we're being left out of the conversation.
And my name is Erica Bacon. I am also a millennial. I was born in 1982, so I'm actually on the cusp of being a Gen Xer. However, I just want to say we're not leaving Gen Xers out of the conversation. We're very important to us. I think the important thing is that the reason why we decided to do this podcast is because there was a voice left out. Can we also talk about what we're drinking and what we're drinking out of?
Okay. We're drinking a nice Brunello out of plastic, stemless wine glasses with little red straws because I was complaining about my teeth turning purple.
I also think this is beautiful for us because it's literally who we are. We're kind of bougie, but also not.
So there is this degree of we're just millennial women, we're millennial moms, but there's also the queer element. And no one is having these conversations. No one is talking to women like us, right? Like I love listening to interview style podcasts, but it's always celebrity interviews. It's always tell me your sob story, but no one is talking about the privilege and the financial aspects that these people have, right? I love listening to these stories of celebrities who've been through it or just prominent people, but they will never admit that everything is a little easier when you make $25 million a year, when you have access. Oh, you got sick? Well, you have access to all the best healthcare in the world. You have access to people who can help you with any problem you've ever had, right? And having access and privilege and money, those stories are just different than what we're living day to day. So yeah, I can listen to celebrity moms talk about how difficult it is to be a mom. And sure, I believe them, but also I don't because they have full-time help. They have millions of dollars. They probably have private chefs, things that I am not working with, right? Where I have to be like, hey, babe, can we afford a date night this month? Like, we got to get away from this. Like, we're just we're regular people.
We're regular people. And we've had the audacity to think that the conversations that we have together resonate with many other women who are in the same situation as us.
I believe that they do. I love hearing just a slice of life. I love interviewing everyday people, especially queer people, because those are my people, right? I just like hearing people's stories about their regular lives, the good, the bad, all the things. And I think that those stories are worth telling. And I think that millennial women, and let's add, a little asterisk, queer women, no one's talking to us.
I have questions for you.
Okay.
Are you ready?
No.
Okay, perfect. What are some things that have changed for you or that you've noticed since turning 40? And to be clear, you just turned 40 in April. So you are still new to the game, which, if you don't have a clear answer on this, I don't feel bad about. But
Okay.
I feel like there are things that you definitely noticed the moment you turned 40.
My wife got fired the day I turned 40. So our lives immediately fell apart. And I kind of knew things were not going to be looking up for 40, but it happened right away. So yeah, that's such a bad question for me because so far being 40 has been so bad.
I could generically speak for most people that turning 40 isn't like a celebration of, yay, I made it. It's like, oh, fuck, what does the next 40 years look like for me?
I thought I would have my shit together at 40, and I so severely do not have my shit together. And so now I'm trying not to do this thing like, oh, by 50, you'll have it together. Because do you remember when I turned 40 and we were out at a bar with a bunch of friends who showed me a wonderful time, and I really do appreciate it. I met a woman who was celebrating her 70th birthday, and she jokingly said, hey, do you want to trade places? And I looked at her and I said, well, are you financially stable? And she shook her head side to side and she said, no, I'm not. And I wanted to cry because if I'm fucking financially stable by 70, what am I even doing?
There's different variations of what financially stable could mean.
I feel like you're just going to fact check me.
I'm not fact checking. I'm just saying.
Right.
We have been
It's something different to everyone.
groomed since day one. We need to be married by this date. We need to have this many kids by this date. And then you need to have this house and it's supposed to look this way. Okay. So maybe this woman in her 70s, I remember her because she got through the gated little entry and I was a little confused about her, but she looked like she was
gated like we were not.
it was gated, man.
In New York in the back of a bar.
Rope. There was a rope.
We had a rope.
Okay. We had a
She
rope.
walked right through the rope.
She walked through the rope.
Well, when I'm 70,
did
I
not
hope
show
I
her
walk through
credentials.
fucking ropes and I don't ask questions.
That's my point. It looked like she was having a good fucking time. But who cares? Does it matter as long as you're enjoying your life? I don't know. I think it's like a midlife question. It's like, what are the things we were socially constructed to want versus what are the things we actually want? And where's the gap between that?
Most women I know right now who are around the age of, let's say, between 40, early 40s, late 40s. Most women I am talking to right now, friends, acquaintances, they're a mess. No one's doing well.
Okay, I can confirm that. It's
right?
true.
Like
It's
these
true.
are all the conversations I'm having. And especially as we have been raised to answer the question, how are you doing? I'm fine. How are your kids? They're great. They're so fun. They're so great. They're so cute. But actually, nobody is fine. And I feel like something has happened and we're all just admitting that to each other, especially because there's less judgment when you're texting your friend who's also a mom to be like, I want to fucking kill them. I'm so tired. But even to anyone, to just, it's like we millennials have opened the floodgates of we're done lying about how difficult this all is. And we're just starting to be honest about it. But just because we're starting to be honest about it doesn't mean we have any solutions. So a lot of us are not, I don't want to use the word, we're not happy with our lives because there's so much love in my life and so much joy in my life. But for the things that are not working, a lot of us don't know how to fix them.
You know what it is? The problem is that there's a certain period of time where women felt this way, and then the solution was lobotomies. I'm pulling away from the ideals of what you're supposed to have. You know, like I think one of the things that I've released since turning 40 is just giving a fuck what people think. And
That
what we're
is
supposed to
a
do.
positive of turning 40.
Yeah. Do you feel it? Has it hit yet? Has it like actually sunk in?
It has hit. The
Okay.
boundaries, I'm finally just
Ooh, girl, tell me about the
putting
boundaries.
I'm like, I'm not going to do that. I don't want to do that. That's not what I need today. That's not what my family needs. That's not, it's always, again, it comes with that whole female millennial thing of answer the question and tell everyone that everything's fine. You're supposed to do this. You're supposed to go to this event. Well, I don't want to go. Maybe I don't like those people. Right?
Yeah.
I'm so done doing things I don't want to do because I'm supposed to do them. Our boomer parents who, fucking boomers, man. Don't even get me started. That's a whole episode in and of
No,
itself.
we need to talk about boomers.
Yeah. And well, I was also the other day, I was just picturing my parents at my age and what they were capable of financially, what their lives looked like.
On one income.
On one income.
Mhm.
It was bananas. And I'm like, holy shit. I am one of 3 kids. They were taking us to travel internationally, right? They built their dream house when I was 11 years old. I think my mom was not even 40 that time. I am so far behind that. But again, I think we need to realize that that's not happening for this generation.
And do you want that? I don't know. I didn't know what an avocado was until I was like 20 years old. So my experience was wildly different. But you know what I can do? I can shoot guns and I can chop wood really well. So when the apocalypse happens, I'm here. I'm ready.
And I will be there with an avocado and I'll let you know when it's ripe.
Okay. So a couple of things that I thought about that have changed since I turned 40. I have this insatiable craving for cigarettes and I don't know where it's coming from. I was like a social smoker in my 20s and then my 30s. I was like, that's disgusting. Get away from me.
It is disgusting.
It is. However, like, where is that desire coming from? Is it like to be naughty or is it like, what is it?
It's got to be naughty because it's not going to make you feel 20 again. It's probably making you feel like shit. When you smoke a cigarette, how do you feel?
In the
after?
moment, fucking amazing.
But if you're drinking and smoking the next day, oh man, I would be sick
Oh, the
for a
next
week.
day is like, I feel like warmed over garbage on 57th and Rex. Like, it's the grossest feeling in the world. However, in the moment, it's delicious.
I find as I get older, I can't just do the things I want to do, because now I'm thinking about
Like
how
party?
Yeah, party.
I mean, you could party.
What is
Okay,
party even
the
mean? That's
definition
such
of
a-
party for us, for you, okay, for me, slightly different, just because I think I'm wired differently. But for you, it's a good day drinking experience, and you're in bed by 9:30.
I can go to bed a little later. 10:30 is
10:30, you're
a
in.
really nice time for me to be under the covers.
Okay, but party, relatively speaking,
Right. But I can't just drink and drink and drink. Like, I know that if I'm going to do that, I'm going to be sick for a couple days. Who has the time?
You're fun when you're drunk. I'm not gonna lie.
Thank you. My wife will definitely disagree with you on that.
So Laura's a bit of an Aries. And if we know anything about Aries, it's the ability to get into fights or instigate fights a little bit. You're a fighter.
I'm
Like,
not.
but I am drawn to this energy because I'm like your wingman fighter where I'm not going to start the shit. Wait, my wife would disagree with that.
Oh.
I'm not going to start the shit, but I would definitely,
You're going to get involved.
I'm going to get involved.
Yeah.
And I think that's okay.
I don't feel like I start it, but I always end up. Yeah, I do start it.
You start it.
I do.
So I had a conversation with a colleague the other day. In the little part about me, I am a raging queer. I look like this, and I am in corporate America. I used to dress in drag every day. I had long hair. I had gel tips, which I think is hilarious. I looked like I was just like thrown up out of an Anne Klein meets J. Crew catalog. Like, it was not the vibe that I am, but I played dress up to play the part. And then over the last few years, I've kind of been like, fuck it, I'm just going to be me. And I'm going to wear like a really nice suit and some Jordans. So anyway, I'm having this conversation with a colleague who's in her early 50s and she looks 45. She's amazing. And she made a comment to me that she's like, I noticed the other day that you came in to a conference room with a bunch of people and you were like, God damn, it is so hot in here. And I'm like, guys, I am a 43-year-old woman and I cannot sustain this for the next hour. And she laughed about it. She's like, it's literally the first time that I've heard any other woman acknowledge the thing that we're collectively going through.
God forbid a woman wants to be comfortable.
We don't talk about perimenopause. We definitely don't talk about it in the workplace. But it was funny because I didn't realize it at the time. It wasn't like I was trying to model a behavior. It was just like, I don't give a shit what anybody thinks. I'm hot and we need to figure this out. So I think it's this shame of going through these things physically as we've done our entire lives, right? Like, we have learned to deal with discomfort since we were 11, 12 years old for me. Like, you are going to bleed. You are going to be in pain for at least 25% of every single month,
Mhm.
period. End of story. And you're going to have to just fucking deal with it. And you just move on through life.
You have
and
to deal with it, and nobody wants you to talk about
and
it.
don't talk about it.
Well, that's something, you're talking about how you look queer.
What does queer mean to you?
Well, queer wasn't really a word that we
No, it's definitely a
millennials
slur.
were able to use.
It was
back
a slur,
then.
for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
When I was in college, when I first met my wife, Sam, you could be straight or gay, right? Even bisexual was just everybody made fun of.
Yeah, you're on your path to being gay.
Right. That's why I love that we've taken back the term queer. I love the term queer because I feel like it's just this blanket statement of these people are my community and I don't need to explain anything more than that. I have a wife, so it explains itself. But yeah, for me, and I know there's a lot of older people who dislike the term queer. There are older lesbians who are like, nope, I'm a lesbian. Older gay guys, nope, I'm gay. And then there's so many other terms we can use within the LGBTQ plus umbrella, right? But for me, queer is kind of this all-encompassing, this is my community, I'm part of it, I support it, and I don't really need to explain any more than that to anyone, right?
Yeah. I mean, I'm queer because I couldn't find the language to describe who I am.
You're just too many things.
Too many things. I remember my stepmother once, we were talking, it's when the Spice Girls were a big thing. And of course, being the like young tomboy athlete that I was obsessed with Sporty Spice and didn't know why I quite liked Victoria Beckham as much as I did. It wasn't there. Like, I didn't quite register
you
that
had a
yet.
crush on Posh Spice?
Have you seen her? She looks like perpetually 40. She's gorgeous.
She is gorgeous.
Her husband, though, I mean, that them together is a whole thing for me. But
you want to roll around with both of them.
absolutely,
Yeah.
same time. However, she said something along the lines of, she didn't mean it in a mean way. But she's like, oh, that one's a dyke. And I just remember how it stung before I knew it was meant to sting.
Yes.
And it just settled in me. So every time I hear that word dyke, I'm fucking triggered beyond belief. And I'm trying to reclaim it. But at the same time, I don't identify that way. I'm not just this one thing. But the word queer, and thank God for Gen Z, because they have reclaimed language in a way that, like, you know, you and I have friends who live right down the street from the studio. And they are not only amazingly out in the world, but they are these teachers for us.
Yeah, because we are kind of in between the generations, right?
Yes.
But oh my God, they know so much. And I'm like, wow, that is a different generation. The language they use, how they make the world fit for them, for their lives. And then we've got the older generation who would make offhanded not that that's a generational thing. Anyone can do that. But yeah, we're kind of in the middle where we're still learning. Even my wife is always like, well, what if I misgender someone? I'm like, then you apologize. Do your best.
And you learn and you move on.
Yeah, it's okay not to know everything. So afraid to fuck up or to try to respect something that they don't understand. And my answer is always, why not? So we're this generation of, yeah, I didn't know how to define myself. When I was in college and I fell in love with Sam, and people would be like, oh, you're a lesbian now, and laugh at me. And I was like, well, that doesn't fit me. But for years, that's just how I referred to myself because there wasn't a word that worked.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not a lesbian. That's just not who I am. And so queer works. But this is a lot of us having been through it and a new generation working through it and giving themselves permission to not follow the rules the way we did. And I'm also not one of those gatekeepers who's like, you should have to go through what we went through.
Oh,
I'm
God,
like,
no.
fuck yeah.
Also, we should cancel student loan debt.
Cancel it.
Cancel it.
Fucking cancel it.
No one needs to learn lessons that we've learned just because it was so hard for us.
Hey, it's Laura from Unseen. Are you looking to shop queer brands and support our show? Find us on pinkrobinshop.com.
I don't know the answer to this. I feel like I should. And maybe I've asked you before, but I'm not sure. So who was your first celebrity girl crush? And at what age?
This is where I am so tricky because I was not your typical closeted teen. I will tell you, I grew up in an affluent suburb on Long Island. I graduated high school with, I think, over 500 kids in my graduating class. There was not one out openly queer person. That being said, I did not grow up thinking I had any same-sex attraction. I was just programmed to be boy crazy, and I was boy crazy until I met Sam, but I was only 19 when I met her.
So there was never a moment where you had that little like twinge of curiosity or...
No, not that I can point to. And I'm sure if we really combed through and put my life on replay.
Didn't you do that already?
Yeah, I did.
17 is the podcast.
Listen to 17 anywhere you get your podcasts. But no, there were no, because I would sit here right now, because I'm 40 now and I don't give a fuck. I would be like, oh yeah, I didn't realize at the time, but I had a crush on that girl in my chem class. But I crushed so hard on stupid loser boys. Constantly.
What about like celebrities though?
When I was in the 6th grade, I was completely obsessed, posters all over my room of Hanson, which if you don't know who they are 3 brothers who looked
with
like,
very long hair and very feminine.
They looked like girls. Long,
also, if you're a
hair.
millennial and you don't know who Hanson is, I am ready to throw gloves. Let's like my hoop earrings are coming off.
But my sister and friends were also obsessed with them, and they are straight women. So
yeah, it was generational.
2 major celebrity crushes.
I'm ready.
One is Gabriel Byrne. He is an Irish actor, older than my father. Gabriel Byrne is probably late 70s.
Is this the guy?
Although I think he just had a baby because his wife is probably my age.
Love Actually guy?
No, that's Liam Neeson.
No, the older, like he's like the rocker, like he's kind of weird.
No.
Who's that guy? Oh, you just had a face though. I feel like you're a twinge of excitement. Who is that guy?
Well, because I love Love Actually, and that's a real millennial nostalgic. Most people hate it because it's truly problematic.
I mean, it is, but I really love that movie too.
Okay. Gabriel Byrne is a beautiful Irish actor. Shout out to my friend Jess. When we were in ninth grade, we were obsessed with him. And so he was probably in his 50s at that point. We had,
Oh, shit. Okay. So I just Googled it. Thank God for the internet.
he's lovely. He was in Stigmata. Remember that movie? So good.
Of course, I remember
He was in
Stigmata from
The Usual
1990
Suspects.
something. This man,
Beautiful. Beautiful man.
yeah, I envision myself visiting him in a nursing home.
Show me. I haven't even looked him up. He's probably
feel like I
really
don't wanna-
aging now.
Babe, he's like,
I really fell for him when he was in his. Nope, he's still got it.
oh, wow.
Still
Okay.
got it.
So much to unpack
Okay,
there.
so
I love this for
my
you.
friend, when we were in junior high, we made a burn book, Burn Baby Burn. And we took a marble notebook and decorated it with pictures of him. And like I would pass it off
Did
to
the
her at
friend
lunch.
also have
We would write
this
notes to
crush?
each other. We were obsessed with him. We went to see him in a show on Broadway and he walked by us and her mom tried to get us to talk to him and we both freaked
You
out.
cracked.
Couldn't look at him.
Oh
And
my
I
God.
appreciate that her mom was like, these two 13-year-old girls are obsessed with this man in his 50s. I'm going to take them to New York City to see him in his show. Okay. So Gabriel Byrne has been like my lifelong celeb crush. Love him. And then
Okay, keep going, but we're going to have to define crush after this because, like, the thought of having sex with how old is he?
crush is not sex. You're sexualizing
75.
everything.
Isn't that what we do?
You groomer.
70. Hashtag groom. 75-year-old man. Okay, so we definitely have different definitions of crush. I feel better now knowing this is your definition. that you do
My
not wanna-
celebrity crushes are not people that I openly would like to have sex with.
You just want to hug.
Yeah. I just want them to be like, I'm really into you. And then I'll be like,
No,
okay,
thanks.
I'm married though. I just want them to like me. That's what a crush is.
Okay. Duh. I love this. This is the best.
Okay. So Gabriel Byrne,
Okay.
one end of the sexuality
Yes.
spectrum. And on
Great.
the other is
I know
Melissa
this one.
King from Top Chef.
Which I feel like is directionally better.
Right. But I never even watched Top Chef. I think I probably found her
So
on
you just-
Instagram or
You
something.
just like flipped through and you're like, wow, super hot.
Just
I want her to be into me
fully-
so I can turn her down.
fully attracted to her.
Okay. I mean,
But
to
I
be
don't know
fair,
that I would turn her down. She just travels the world and eats food. Is there anything better than that?
There's nothing better. Also, she's like the, I don't know, spokesperson for Tom Brown. And I'm wildly jealous of that.
Yeah. She's got like the perfect queer vibe. So those are my
Not into
celebrity
her,
crushes.
but want to be best friends for sure.
I certainly don't have same sex or queer celebrity crushes that started at a young age. In college, Sam got the box set of DVDs of The L Word. And so we watched that in college, which, oof,
Shout out to DVDs.
shout out to DVDs. We got a box of DVDs in our basement that she will not part with. And I'm like, bitch, we don't even have a DVD player.
Mm.
But even then, I was like, I don't know. I don't think I have a crush on any of them. Okay. Who was your earliest celebrity crush? I wish Sam was here because she was in love with Katie Holmes like the second Dawson's Creek came
Oh,
out.
she was too bland for me. No offense,
So,
Sam.
no offense, Katie.
I don't really care about Katie. I have so many. So, like you, I was wildly boy crazy. I think the very first crush, if we want to call it that, by my definition, which is I'm very interested in you and I would not mind seeing you naked and close to me. Nev Campbell, Party of Five. Do you remember that show?
I never watched it.
Oh
I was too young.
God, it hurt. That hit me under the
I thought you
ribs.
might like that one.
Okay, so I must have been like 15. I had boyfriends all throughout high school.
Yeah, we got to talk about that because you always dated. I never dated anybody.
Nev Campbell. I watched Party of Five, and there was just something that just her like brooding, like eyebrow. You know how she like kind of squints all the time, and there's just like this,
Brooding is a good word for her.
like this something about this woman that I found wildly attractive, and I could not put my finger on it because I was so obsessed with guys that I couldn't be like, oh, I'm attracted to her in this gay way. Like
Yeah.
I did not have any sense, or it wasn't clear to me from day one because it wasn't like one or the other, to the point of a lot of people, I think. And bisexual is just like no one says that in a serious way.
No.
It's
What
always
is
a
it?
joke.
That's
like,
what
oh,
most
you're
people are.
bisexual.
Most
Yeah.
people are.
Literally everyone. It's a
Bisexual.
spectrum. Everyone's bisexual. But it was definitely Neve Campbell. And then when Wild Things, the movie came out, and then she had the makeout scene with what's her name?
Denise Richards.
I think I died. And that's when I was like, oh, yeah, I want that. I want to be Denise Richards right now, making out with Neve Campbell in that pool. She
Who's
was
your current celebrity crush?
my current everlasting and has always been and will always be Charlize Theron. So do we want to, can I continue with more questions?
Yeah.
This has been fun so far. Okay, this is a deep one though. Are you ready for this?
I just want to, before you say that, Erica, I just want to remind myself and anyone who dares to listen that you are the kind of person that we could just be like grabbing a drink and talking about whatever, and you will be like, what is the biggest regret of your life? Like, tell me about your relationship with your parents. Like, you're so fun. And you know me, I'm always like, fuck off. Like, you don't do small talk. You always want to go to the big shit. And you always trick me into talking about it.
Okay, I disagree. I don't think it's trickery. I think it is my innate inability to have small talk. I suck at small talk because I don't care.
I know.
People who only want to have small talk,
I will talk to you about the weather all day.
built for corporate America. You are designed.
I have been rejected from corporate America for my entire adult life. They see me coming and they immediately are like, position is filled. I've been trying my whole life to get into
You're
corporate
way
America.
too good at small talk.
Well, also, I don't think you think it's trickery, but you'll ask me one of those questions and I will roll my eyes and tell you that I think you're a fucking stupid bitch. And then somehow I'll also end up answering it, like every time. Okay, so ask me your deep question.
What's something you had growing up that you know your kids can't have but wish they did?
Something I had growing up that my kids can't have, but I wish they did. This is a really depressing question.
Is it depressing?
It is a depressing question because I was very privileged. I don't think I realized it at the time. Like, my parents paid for me and my sister and brother all to go to undergrad. They bought us all our first car. And I don't think that's something we're going to be able to do for our children. Like, they took us to travel. I'm not saying they didn't work for it and they didn't save up for it. My dad is actually insanely financially savvy, and I wish I had gotten that from him, and I did not. He tried really hard to teach me his ways, but he just made really smart decisions, and he showed his kids the world. And that's something that now Sam and I are like really reevaluating our decisions and trying to change our lives so that we can do more of that. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to be able to set my kids up the way that my parents set me up. This is a conversation Sam and I have frequently because I know now that my dad was working many, many years at a job that was making him miserable, but he was able to financially provide in the way that he did. He was also able to retire early, and he and my mom have been traveling the world for over 10 years. They travel and they lay by their pool and they take their kids and grandkids on a trip every year, and they're enjoying their lives. And what if one of them had gotten sick?
Yeah.
What if, there's so many what ifs. So I look at Sam and I'm like, no, we can't assume that we can just like work and work and work and work and have all of our fun. And it really worked out for my parents, but they are the minority. They got very, very lucky in those ways. But I also do feel bad. I'm like, those were really difficult years for my dad, for his ungrateful, shitty teenagers to just be rolling into the house in the cars that he bought them, fucking stoned or like whatever, But if we were in the habit on this podcast of interviewing straight white men, my dad is so openly honest about, he's like, yeah, my generation is the first and last and only generation that got to live the American dream. And then we fucked it all up for the rest of you. So he knows all the ways in which he's so fortunate, even though he really, really did work for it. But we are all working and we're not getting that, right? Like, a lot of people are working themselves to the bone and they're not getting to do those things. But I also try to remind myself that my parents were big road trippers when we were kids, especially when we lived in Canada. They got this huge van. We had a giant van, and we
How big? Tell me about the van.
Like a full-size van with one of those like raised roof. Like
Ooh.
the the back, the third row in the back, there was a button and it would turn into a bed. But we would go on road trips.
That is fancy.
Because we would drive to New York to visit family for the holidays. We once drove we lived outside of Toronto to fucking Key West. One time my brother and we had stopped for lunch and I guess I still had my soda and I had a straw in my mouth and we were fighting.
Of course you had a straw.
In the back. I love a straw. Okay? I know, save the turtles, but I do love a straw.
Sorry, turtles.
I use reusable straws at home. My brother and I were fighting in the back of the van and he must have hit the straw and it, like, I still remember the pain of the straw.
It went down your throat?
It hit the back of my throat, like right where, what's that little hangy thing?
Uvula.
Jesus Christ.
Wait, hold on.
It got infected.
You got impaled in your uvula?
Hey, it's Laura from Unseen. Are you looking to shop queer brands and support our show? Find us on pinkrobinshop.com. Sometimes we like to just ask each other that, like, say stupid shit to each other, and then we'll be like, the answer was supposed to be no, I'm in love with you. The other night I was like spinning out about the fact, because we used to have those conversations of like, one of us is going to die first, right? So the other night, I don't even know why, I was just spinning out about things. I'm in bed and she gets in bed. I'm like, hey, babe. She's like, hey. I'm like, one of us is going to die first. And she's like, what the fuck? Like, I just got Quinn to sleep. I just got the dog in the crate. I'm like, yeah, not only that, but if you died tomorrow, babe, I wouldn't even get to grieve you because I don't even know the name of your job. I was like, I think I know the name of your company, but like, I wouldn't even know who to call. So the next morning she's like, so that was interesting. But I'm like, I literally would not even get to be sad because I'd be like, I don't know what to do with our kids. I don't know how to access any of your benefits.
You need a plan.
To grow the fuck up and make a plan.
Do you have a living will?
Me, no. I have only debt. Yeah.
I had a lot of embryos. I was a good fortune.
Oh God, I know. You just had so many eggs.
So many. I am very competitive, so I had to have 31 extracted.
You got 31 eggs. How many embryos did you get?
Okay, so they pulled 31, 21 fertilized, and then 11 were like grade A.
Shut the fuck up.
I know. Like me and this dude, whoever donor 4277 was, like we were fucking
donor 4277.
Like, hello, like we made some fucking
meant to
good
be.
Kids.
Well,
yeah.
Me and donor 4228 only made 3 embryos.
Hey,
2 of which went in, one of which came out as Quinn, and
we love him.
Yeah. Was he grade A? I am not sure.
Unknown.
I don't think so.
But he's grade A to me.
Also, somehow your child, who is from your embryo, looks just like your wife. Like for the longest,
I know, right?
For the beginning of our friendship, I just assumed he was hers.
It's because his hazel eyes.
But he looks like
beautiful.
both of you.
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, he's genetically the spitting image of me, which I just feel so bad for him. Every time I'm like, I'm so sorry,
I was just having this conversation with my parents. I was like, oh, Quinn is so stubborn. Where does he get that from? Me. Where do I get that from? You. I point at my dad. I'm like, oh, Quinn holds grudges. Where does he get that from? Me. Where do I get that from? You. Point at my dad. I'm like, this poor thing. He got all the worst qualities of my genetics.
My dad is a lot of things. A lot of things. My dad and I don't have a great relationship. I don't know. I feel like most people can relate to having like some sort of disconnected relationship with one parent or the other, but my dad is extra special. He's an extrovert narcissist. I don't know. Maybe that's why he aligns with Trump so much, where I look at him and as I age, I look like him and it hurts a little bit. And I realized, like, okay, I need to acknowledge this part of my lineage and my history and my genetic whatever. But at the same time, I'm like, okay, how do I break the thing for my son? Mm-hmm. And my wife always says that, fortunately, I've been gifted the good parts of my dad.
That's a nice thing for Laura to say.
I mean, she's always nice to me.
Yeah. Sam's always like, your parents are psycho and so are you. And she is not wrong. You're all insane. No, we really only pass down our worst traits in my family.
But it's what you choose to see, I think, is the thing.
It all comes back to reframing.
Reframing, which is my last question for you.
Oh, there's more. Well, I have a question for you, too.
Okay, so I'm going to ask mine, then you can ask yours.
Fine.
I already know the answer to this. Are you an optimist or are you a pessimist, and explain why?
I feel like I'm an optimist.
Okay.
Do you disagree?
No.
I remember in junior high, I was hanging out with my friends, and we were talking about how it was summer, and it was almost June 21st, which I think is the first official day of summer.
Mm-hmm.
We were talking about how it was the longest day of the year, and I jokingly was like, it's all downhill from there. And my friend turned to me and she goes, you're such a fucking pessimist. And I never forgot that because it hurt so bad, because I was like, wow, am I that person? And so then I feel like I went into this area of my life where I was so fucking chill and fun and optimistic. Life was going to be so great. And that's a very easy thing to think when you are young. And now I think, oh, I hate this question. I am trying, and I said this to you earlier, I am trying to stop thinking about what's to come and worrying about that and planning for that and getting back into the moment. And again, not every day is going to be the best fucking day of your life. Some days I'm just going to drive my kids around and I'm going to work, and it's going to be a day and I'm going to figure out how to make dinner. But also there should be joy in those days. And so I'm trying to become more of that person of like, it actually, everything is really good. I have family that I love and I'm close to, and a lot of people can't say that. I have a really good community of friends, and I'm actually very fortunate that I even get to complain about my life at all, because it's actually pretty good. So I do think I'm an optimist, and I'm certainly an optimist for people who are not me.
I feel like you are 1000% an optimist.
Yeah.
You are the person who, like, it's like all of these roadblocks. I don't know. I'm picturing like a video game, or like you're in a car, like you're the car, and all of the shit gets in the road, and you're just like trying to figure out your way around the shit to keep going forward.
So it's just Mario Kart.
Is that Mario? I mean, that was more your decade than mine. Like, I'm going to just keep fucking going despite anything that is thrown in my way. And you just have this relentless drive to do what you can to help and support your family, which I think is such a beautiful thing that I don't see from a lot of people. And I don't think you give yourself enough credit for.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
It's the truth. You're an optimist.
You're opening a new combo in me, but I'm not gonna.
I feel like you need to just
right
pocket the fact that you're a fucking optimist. Can you do that?
Pocketed.
Okay.
Okay, here's my big question.
All right, I'm ready for it.
What's your baseline?
All right. So to be fair, I was prepped with this question,
You were prepped.
but I immediately knew the answer. My baseline is curiosity.
Yeah.
I have been through an enormous amount of shit my entire life. I have been grinding. I am like in the mud, crawling myself up the mountain with all the people I love, because I know there's something on the other side that is something beautiful and incredible. And my baseline is just being curious about everything that comes my way. If it's a great thing, cool. If it's a bad thing, awesome. What do I learn from it? If it's something that's interesting, how do I lean into it? If it's something uncomfortable, how do I lean into it? My baseline is just truly being a curious person, because I don't know, I'm spiritual in a way that has lent me to the direction of like, we're all gonna fucking die. None of this matters. What is the experience we're supposed to have, and how do you make it beautiful? And for me, that's being curious about life. And so I try in the best ability that I can to just be open, to explore it, and to try things and fail. I think most people are so afraid to fail. Mm-hmm. And like, I failed at so many things that I just don't give a fuck. Like, what are you going to do? Am I a bad person because I failed at this business, or I tried this thing and I failed, and I tried this thing and I failed? Like, who gives a shit? I'm just going to keep trying. And it's not about being successful. It's about enjoying the process. So yeah, I think it's curiosity.
My baseline is agitated. Every day. What degree? I did not grow up planning to become a curmudgeon.
But
Just happened.
But I don't think that's your baseline.
You don't think my baseline is agitated?
No, your baseline is hustler. You were a fucking
Oh my God, I'm
hustler.
such a fucking hustler, but I get
You
that
were
from
a
my
hustler.
mother.
Right. Like, shout out, mom.
Shout out, mama.
But your baseline is like hustle. It just, like, I've never seen you not working. You're always working. You will do whatever it takes. Period. End of story. You're a fucking hustler.
You're listening to Unseen. We're a home for queer millennial voices. No fame, no filters, no perfection required. We celebrate queer millennials with stories to tell, wisdom to share, and voices that deserve to be heard. This is a space where real life, messy, hilarious, and full of heart is always worth sharing. Watch us on YouTube, listen on Spotify, Apple Music, or wherever you get your podcasts.